Good afternoon. Welcome to another live feed. Another live feed on the Shop Venture YouTube channel. Let's get into it. Jack Lambert, Jack Ham, two Jacks. One last name was Lambert, other was Ham. This is from the 50 most dynamic duos in sports history: basketball, football, hockey, and baseball. Let's get into it, man. If any pair of linebackers play at a level comparable to the one that Lawrence Taylor and Harry Carson reached together with the Giants during the 1980s, that duo was the extraordinary tandem of Jack Lambert and Jack Ham, one that helped lead the Pittsburgh Steelers to 4 world championships during the 70s. The Pittsburgh Steelers of the 1970s may well have been the greatest team in the history of the National Football League, and this to winning unprecedented 4 Super Bowls over a 6-year period. They had arguably the greatest assemblage of talent in league history. The Pittsburgh offense featured no fewer than 5 future Hall of Famers: quarterback Terry Bradshaw, running back Franco Harris, Michael Webster at center, wide receivers like Lynn Swann, John Stallworth. The Steelers' current defense is still considered by many football experts to be the greatest ever, with a front four of Mean Joe Green, Dwight White, L.C. Greenwood, Ernie Helms, terrorized opposing quarterbacks. Cornerback Mel Blount was as good as any defensive back in the game. Yet the heart and soul of the Pittsburgh defense was exceptional linebacker tandem of Jack Ham and Jack Lambert, who were the unit's 2 most indispensable players. Despite the array of talent that this team had, the Steelers' rise to the top was a slow, arduous one. Obviously, they struggled through the 50s and the 60s. They were one of the most consistent losers in the NFL. They finished with one of the league's worst records. But in 1969, everything changed when they drafted Mean Joe Green. And then here comes Terry Bradshaw. Terry Bradshaw. Then Jack Ham, he came in 1971 out of Penn State. 6'1", 225, became a star already in his rookie season. He immediately demonstrated the gifts that enabled him to be one of the greatest outside linebackers in NFL history. The physical talent, he was very cerebral. He became known for his calm nature, consistency displayed throughout his career. He played left strong side linebacker, did a spur drive containing the team's running game. Uh, Ham played well against the run. He played well, even effectively against the pass. So to that degree, to which he excelled at the aspect of the game in his second year in the league, when he intercepted a career-high 7 passes. Thanks for 9 people tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And one of the finest moments, he came up with 2 interceptions against the Raiders in 1974 NFL AFC Championship game in 1974. He had 32 career interceptions, placed him third all-time among the NFL linebackers. Got 16 people tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. He earned the first of 8 consecutive Pro Bowl selections in his 3rd season, making the squad each year from 1973 to 1980, and was named first-team All-Pro for the first of 6 straight times the following year, which happened to coincide with the arrival of Jack Lambert. The 1974 NFL Draft turned out to be an exceptional one for the Steelers. Lynn Swann was with the first pick. Pittsburgh chose Jack Lambert, Mike Webster, John Stallworth. This is the nucleus that will go on to win 4 of the next 6 Super Bowls. Jack Lambert was 6'4", 220-pound linebacker out of Kent State University. He was taken by the Steelers in the 2nd round. After winning the starting middle linebacker job on Pittsburgh defense as a rookie, Lambert soon became the unit's emotional leader, defensive captain. Lambert's intelligence, speed, quickness, range quickly earned him the respect of all the veterans on the team. Chuck Noll once said that when you start talking about attitude and focus, Jack is the epitome. He was the most focused individual I ever had. Lambert was named the NFL's Defensive Rookie of the Year in 1974, a year in which he helped lead the Steelers to their first world championship. He established himself in subsequent seasons as the premier middle linebacker of his era, appearing at 9 straight Pro Bowls from 1975 to 1983, earning 6 first-team All-Pro selections, being named the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year in 1976. Despite his lean frame, Lambert quickly developed into one of the league's most intimidating players, bludgeoning opposing quarterbacks, running backs with his vicious hits, frightening them with his verbal taunts. He was a tactical, skilled player, Lambert. 28 passes he intercepted during his career. He had 6 interceptions in 1979 alone. Speaking of his former teammates' pass coverage skills, Jack Ham said, "Of all the middle linebackers, Ray Nitschke, William Nair, Dick Butkus, what set Jack apart was his ability to play the pass." Another former member of Pittsburgh's linebacking core, Andy Russell, had said this. Had this to say. Excuse me. Lambert may have the image of a wild man, but he killed it with his precision. NFL did not officially record tackles and sacks until the 80s, making it impossible to know any degree of certainty the number of tackles Lambert made during his career. However, there's little doubt that he led the steals and tackles throughout most of his career, and that he also finished among the league leaders in that category virtually every year. Also, there's no questioning that the integral role that Lambert played during Pittsburgh's championship run and the legacy he left behind when he retired at the end of 1984 after suffering a severe toe injury during the season. Sam Ratiliano once said for Cleveland Browns coach that Jack Lambert is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jack Lambert was the most complete middle linebacker ever to play. Jack Ham continued to praise his former teammate when he said that. Jack Lambert was the most complete middle linebacker ever to play. Lambert returned the favor to him and said, Jack Ham, in my opinion, is the greatest outside linebacker that ever played the game. From his technique, he did everything right. He played the run the way you were supposed to play it. He played the pass the way you were supposed to play it. Consummate. He was just the best that ever played the game. No question in my mind about that. Jack Lambert and Jack Ham lined up alongside each other on Pittsburgh's defenses for 9 straight years. From 1974 to 1982, they appeared in 6 AFC Championship games, 4 Super Bowls during that period, finishing on top each time. They made it a big game. Then those 9 seasons, 13 appearances in the Pro Bowl, 11 first-team All-Pro selections. Ham was named the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year 1975. 1975, Lambert was the honor the following year. He won the honor the following year. Lambert and Ham were extremely durable. Lambert missed only 6 games due to injury during his first 10 years in the league. And Ham played every game in 8 of the 12 NFL seasons, appearing in 178 out of 190 contests. It would be difficult to argue strenuously with anyone who claimed that Lambert and Ham were the greatest linebacking tandem in NFL history. All right, so that's it for that. Conclusion for chapter 32, Jack Ham and Jack Lambert. Monday I'll be talking about Jim Taylor and Paul Hornung. All right, I'm done. Be back at 1 o'clock. Continue on the top 100 underrated hip-hop songs of all time. Until then, talk to you soon.